Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kal.
I'm Ghost.
Ubisoft Forward conference was yesterday, showcasing a lot of major games, well, extended gameplay for major titles coming out like Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws. And I gotta say, after seeing the gameplay for Star Wars Outlaws, I'm cautiously optimistic.
I am too, man. It's really weird.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be as good as what I saw.
Facts.
But the environment looks amazing. It looks like I'm in Star Wars. They did a really good job on that.
I think so.
Another thing that blew me away is like the seamless transition from coming out of the bar and then walking onto your ship, going directly into space. Like you just hopped into the chair and she just drove straight out. I'm like, yes, finally, somebody understands.
Not a loading screen in sight.
I hope everybody at Bethesda is sitting down and watching this, because this is how you do immersion when it comes to these type of games. You need to keep the player engaged at all times and make sure that they feel in control of everything. There should be very small increments where the player doesn't have control. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I also like moving between different systems, like even during warp, it was just instantaneous. Also landing on a planet, I was fully expecting to see like a cinematic. Nope, we zoom right through the clouds, and the city started to peek through. Something else that blew me away.
I don't know. I just think graphically it looks great.
Yeah, it looks
because
amazing.
it even gives you. I don't really want to compare it because it's an older game, but like No Man's Sky,
yeah,
like it just looks really good. It looks smooth and just I don't know. I was actually really surprised. Not saying I was thinking it was going to be bad, but just the last couple of Star Wars games, just in my opinion, because I'm very nostalgic when it comes to them. I didn't think they were that great. This actually looks like it could be something worth dumping a couple hours into for sure, depending on what the storyline's kind of gonna follow and how much they actually allow you to do, if that makes sense.
What the game loop is, like how much control you have. But yeah, like I said, not a loading screen in sight. They're doing good. The space combat, it seemed pretty simple, easy to get used to. It's not something that looked too complicated. Looks like you can help people fight off pirates, or it's kind of like these B-roam events that you see in Spider-Man. Like you see somebody in help, and if you go over there, you help them, then you increase your standing with whatever faction that they're a part of. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out later on in the story, if that has any major impact at all. Because some games will let you do that, but then at the most is you'll fill up that faction meter and they give you a reward at the end. Doesn't really impact the storyline in any way.
Yeah, but there's also, I really enjoy a lot of the games that are like that. I know, I actually don't remember you ever told me if you played a game called Mercenaries back in the day, but I like games that you have to have that delicate balance between, okay, am I going to go do this mission? Am I really going to screw this up because of, the way the gameplay is going to be reacting towards that faction now? Are things going to get harder, or is it going to get easier? I actually kind of like that because it gives you an immersion of actual consequences to your actions during gameplay.
And I like harsh consequences for my actions. I don't want it to be like, oh, you got an attitude with me now. No, I need to know there, like, something happened because of the decision I made.
Right.
But yeah, I also like the little pet that she had. Name is Nyx. Can be used as a recon, similar to the dog that was in Metal Gear Solid. Also, you can use it as a distraction, like while you go up and take care of the guard. Also, I don't know if you saw, but Nyx will also like play dead, like near a guard.
Oh no, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like trying to get his attention. Also noticed like during combat, a lot of games will do that when you have like these blaster pistols. There'll be like a little mini game, like if you reload at a certain time, it'll refresh the cooldown quicker. I saw that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Another thing that they were showcasing in the demo is that you could pick different experts to go out into the world and find, and then those experts, once you complete like the little mission that they have, it'll unlock different abilities for you. And they showcased, you know, Red Dead had what is it called, Deadeye?
Right.
You know, yeah, it would go into slow motion. It kind of looked like that a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I like that, and we touched on it earlier about, you know, small RPG elements. They showed just a little sliver of that, but nothing major. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm not gonna pay
It seems
$70.
promising.
I'm gonna.
I mean, I'll definitely let that marinate for a minute before, you know, going to pull the trigger on it. But if the opening reviews are really good, I don't know, man. It might be a healthy change versus trying to not let Goku go under 50% health on, you know, a PQ. Just saying.
Man, I forget.
I know. That was traumatizing.
Ubisoft, I'm most likely going to get Ubisoft subscription and then cancel immediately after. So I only have to pay, what, $18 just to play it? I think that's the way I would go.
Wow. You don't want to help anybody get a new Lambo.
Absolutely
Got it.
not. Nope.
Cool.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. Stark contrast. I didn't really feel anything from this demo. The voice actor that plays the assassin, she sounded terrible. Like she only had like one take for every single line. It was like really dry. Also, the dialogue between her and the samurai were like so bad. I'm like, is this this is the finished product? I'm sure. Like at this point, there's no go back and redoing this stuff.
Yeah, no, this is ready to go.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that person to say, oh, this sounds like AI, but it didn't sound good. I'm just saying. Samurai sounded better, but the assassin did not sound good. Also, when you're showcasing a game like this, you need to put it at its best. In a game like it was being played at 30 FPS, yeah, also not good. Because I'm like, what? This? It's not. It doesn't look appealing to the eyes.
I don't know. And maybe I'm just. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a snob for it. But anything that starts to go samurai-esque in kind of the gameplay, I don't know. I just always kind of harp back to Ghost of Tsushima. Now, don't get me wrong. The game had its flaws, but the gameplay was nice. The visuals were just freaking stunning. Phenomenal. And that game is older by today's standards, and I would still put that game up against most of the samurai-inspired or, you know, feudal Japan or whatever time period you want to kind of use them in, because that game is still absolutely amazing. And if it wasn't for soaking as many hours as we did into it, it's still worth a healthy pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. I will always recommend that game. Not only just for his story, but also his online content, because you got another 100 hours in that.
Easy.
Also, going back to Assassin's Creed, the combat didn't look. It looked okay. Like it wasn't. There's nothing flashy about it. The best part was actually like when you defeated whoever you were fighting. Like the executions were kind of brutal. Like he was lifting one of those guys up on his samurai sword, like completely. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like you can see the scale of the samurai and like how much bigger he is compared to other people.
Right.
I did like how people would move out the way and bow to you as you pass as a samurai. I thought that was a nice little immersion. But that's just about.
I don't know.
I
don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. It's one that's definitely a wait and see. I mean, it's not my kind of game as far as like the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is cool. You know, I've heard some good things about it. I've heard bad things about it, and it's not, you know, because of the main character or anything like that. Just the genre in general, as far as like their franchise or IP. But yeah, that's definitely something to even remotely try and pick up. Like I have to wait and see how that's going to pan out, because I'm not sure. It's just there's too many other really good replicas of what that could be. and
Right.
it's, you know, when you see Rise of the Ronin come out, and it's just like, what was that?
Exactly.
Like, and I don't want to criticize anybody's work because I know, you know, some of those developers, not some of them, but you know, they put a lot of heart and soul into that, and to see that kind of just fall stagnant, that's just rough. It's rough.
yeah, and then you like put your trailer out, and then you just go to the first comment, and somebody be like, "Ghost of Tsushima was better." Like that's got,
Bro,
that's
that's
gotta
just
suck.
terrible.
Um,
But I am interested, since you touched on it, like the fatalities. I'm sure that's not what they're really called, but the finisher moves. Like, I wonder if they're
it's automatic.
chosen.
It's not something. That,
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's something you're allowed to do, or if it's just you get into a certain health and then they automatically
it's
pick it up.
certain health. That's about it. Just a few other things. A few other things that I like. You can drag enemies into the shadows to get them out of line of sight. You know, kill them there. It'll be safer to do that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can use the grapple that she has to hide in like the rafters of buildings, kind of like Splinter Cell, like holding on to the beams and stuff like that.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I like that. You can go prone and crawl into like small ponds underwater, and then like if you
That's
stop,
cool.
yeah, if you stop, she uses like this little. It looks like a big straw, and she just holds it up and takes a breath from it, like while she's underwater, so you don't. But I think it's one of those things where you have to be standing still to be able to use it. But she gets out of the pond and assassinates somebody like that. Also, her climbing speed is insane compared to everybody else. My God, she can scale a wall in no time. But every Assassin's Creed so far there hasn't been like major differences between the previous and the one they're currently working on. It's always just really small additions, but not enough to make this game stand out from the last one. This easily looks like assets reused from Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then they just put this Japan skin over it, added a few more things, and then just called it a day.
What's their game turnaround time?
I want to say I think an Assassin's Creed comes out every 2 years.
That seems pretty quick, doesn't it?
I'm actually going to look this up because I want to know myself.
No, because it just feels like we just had one come out recently.
Yeah, what was? Oh, Mirage. Mirage was supposed to be like a DLC, or I don't.
Yeah, but a DLC is fine, but it just feels like, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I'm sitting here thinking about it, but they don't have a long development time unless they're developing wow, words are tough, huh? That they're developing them simultaneously in like 4-year stints. You know what I mean? And they're dropping them every 2 years. But that just doesn't seem like it would be enough time to take what's
wrong.
good or bad about a game.
You want to know how often they come out?
How often?
Every year.
That doesn't seem like that's enough.
I don't think
it's not Call of Duty. I'm telling you, it seemed like it was quick.
It's not enough time for you guys to sit back and actually come up with a compelling story.
Just let the game breathe.
Right. Take the time to come, because they got another one coming out. I think it's called Hex. I'm pretty sure that'll be next year. Like, they're pushing these babies out like Call of Duty's, like you said. I don't think these games are getting the time to breathe.
I mean, if the player base supports it, you know, have at it. But that just, I don't know, man. It just, okay, I'll give you an example. Like, there's no way you could go through, like, and it sucks to kind of harp on these guys, but like Diablo, right? Like, to go ahead and drop the new Diablo, have it go through season 1 problems, have it go through season 2 problems, and be like, hey, by the way, we're dropping a new one.
Right.
Like, it just seems like you're losing good faith with the player base when you're doing it that fast. But I also don't play that franchise, so I can't talk smack about it. But it just seems like you're not giving the IP enough time to breathe, and you guys go, okay, what can we capitalize on? Like, where did we go right? Where did we stumble? Where can we fix? to just pump one out every year, because it's not Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty has a very, as much you want to talk smack about it, they have a very simple formula. Now, they got off of it a little bit, but it's still a very simple formula that they could copy and paste a lot of that asset. It just seems like Assassin's Creed, you would want to be a little more immersive.
Yes.
For the settings, I guess. That's just me.
That's one of the things I think they struggle with. Is like Assassin's Creed is always just filled with all this bloat. Not even remotely just talking about Ubisoft bloat, where you keep having the Ubisoft Connect flash up in your face, or their store and using their points, but just there's too much on the screen. Like they're terrible at immersion, I feel like.
Yeah. But if you're pumping them out every year,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. And
quality's going to slip a little bit.
I also don't know if they have a different studio that works on Assassin's Creed every like while this one is being released, they
like
might
a
have
North
another
American
studio.
and a New Zealand.
Yeah, because that's the same way they do Call of Duty.
But at least you're getting a different product, kind of. But I don't know.
You're getting a studio's like their idea of what they want their COD to be, I guess. So you're getting a new idea, a new iteration every time.
We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just definitely not as excited as I am for like Star Wars. I'll definitely pick both of these up through Ubisoft subscription in the future.
I'll definitely pick up Star Wars because I'm about, well, I shouldn't say definitely, I'm about 80% sold on that. That was really interesting, especially since, can't believe I'm going to admit this to you in front of the world, getting more onto like Star Citizen. Like that's actually just, I don't know. I like that. So we'll definitely have to try that out and see what's going on.
Yeah, Star Citizen is a whole completely different model.
Yeah, since you set up self-destruction on me last night, but whatever.
Right.
That's neither here nor here. Neither here nor there.
Some small things before we end this. Assassin's Creed Mirage now on iPad and iPhone, so for all you mobile gamers out there, that's available to you. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora gets a new DLC called Skybreaker. This will be launching on July 16th. I've heard some good things about this game. I heard it's good, not great. That's the general consensus. They did a good job with the environment, just the story was lackluster. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, you get a free content update. This is the side scroller. Ghost, you've probably seen trailers of this, but
I have.
Yeah, they're getting a free content update called The Divine Trials. New outfits, revamped bosses, new platform challenges, etc. They also advertised a new DLC called The Mask of Darkness that's coming out in September. Continuing with Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake is now slated for 2026. Did you ever play Prince of Persia back in the day?
You know what, I'll be honest with you, I didn't play it fully through, but at the time when those games were real popular, I was so deep into 2K. Like I played sports games at that time when those games were coming out. But you know what, and I actually I'm pretty ashamed of that, because there were a lot of really good games in that era that I didn't play because I was just consumed with trying to get a good jump shot.
Well, to be fair, the sports games that were made back in those times were actually really good in comparison to what we get now.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so it would make sense that, because sports gamers talk fondly about those days. But yeah, the Sands of Time, I don't know if you know about their development. Sands of Time was actually supposed to come out in 2021. They released a trailer in 2020. It was supposed to come out a few months later. They had some development issues, and then they got pushed back. This was all during COVID. And then now they brought in a new studio because they've completely redone the entire game at this point. So they brought in Ubisoft Montreal, I believe, to come in and help the studio make this game and get it pushed out. So even though the game should have been out 3 years ago, we now got to wait 2 extra years to get this remake. So that's quick synopsis of what's going on with that. Skull and Bones Season 2, the Chorus of Havoc is going on right now. You get to combat a Megalodon. You get a new ship called the Brig.
Jesus.
Time-limited boat race events. Also, they said Season 3 is coming, called A Dragon's Wake. You'll be able to fight a flying dragon sea monster. I don't know how a sea monster can also fly, but apparently it can.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
They're also adding a 5v5 PvP mode, so there you go.
That'd be interesting.
Kind of funny they're calling it a new 5v5 PvP mode, because I'm pretty sure this game was advertised as that from the beginning, but they changed course.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, we're not. I guess we're not going to talk about it. Talk about a favorite of yours, the Crew Motorfest. Year 2 roadmap was revealed. They're adding.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're adding a new island for you, Ghost. Be grateful.
And I haven't picked that game up in a while. That's just I don't know. I would love hate with that game.
Give me a 1-word review of that game. You get to pick one
loading
word.
Screen.
Okay.
It's not even 1 word, just loading screen. That game. You know what's sad is that it's got really good. Wow, it has really great graphics. That was a lot of G's in succession. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just I wanted to be into that game so bad, and I just thought it wasn't a waste of $70. It was just, you would think they would have done some currency upgrades with that game. And I know they did some other stuff, and that's not to get into this here, to make, the money grind a little bit better, but I don't know. That's tough. But I'm glad they see enough success to push out another season, though.
Yeah, good for them, I guess.
I guess.
They're also adding some new story content called the Chase Squad, so maybe you can hop on there and...
No, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that. I will. I'll try it, because I'm a masochist and I enjoy pain.
One last thing. I didn't have it written down, but I did know that they were releasing The Division. Can you tell us about that? Do you know anything else about that?
They actually comes out tomorrow. Season 6 actually drops, and they're revamping the end game, but just to kind of break it down over the next 3 seasons, because it's year 6.
Well, tomorrow will be today when I actually get this video up.
Yeah, just whatever. When you hear this, it'll be released on the 11th. But yeah, they're redoing the end game, so you don't have to go through Warlords of New York anymore to power level a character. So you don't have to go through that whole DLC. Which is nice, so you can level up your character to level 40 through Washington, D.C., which is super cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's actually really nice, because it helps that grind of just getting materials a little bit easier. They're revamping the way you do seasons coming up. I don't know if you're going to like this or not, because I know you're not playing it right now. But I did think about you when they said this, that they're going to have seasonal characters now. But... And I was wondering if they were going to do this. They're going to have seasonal characters. They're going to have different type of seasonal bonuses and perks. So different seasons will have enemies, depending on how you want to structure it, will have different effects, and they'll act differently based on season mechanics, things like that, kind of like how Diablo does. But something that I like that they did is, once the seasonal character is over, all of that XP gets absorbed into your main character. So it's not an independent character. It's actually something that will keep progressing your main character, which I think is absolutely an amazing idea.
That is way better than what Diablo.
So amazing.
And I'm going to say this. I don't care if that's how it's been for years. It's still shit, in my opinion. I'm not going to keep going through seasons having to redo my character over and over again. I'm done. Once I do it once or twice, I'm done. Xenoverse was lucky to have me make another character on there. I'm not doing that again.
That's a whole nother issue. But yeah, man, it's actually it's really nice, because they're and then the I guess let me back up. They're actually going to release the Brooklyn DLC at the end of the year, which is going to be really nice. But I don't know, man. They're doing a lot of quality of life upgrades. They're making the game a lot easier to level. They're changing the way seasons are done, the way you're going to progress, because it's not just through manhunts anymore, where you're going to go and eliminate a character. You're going to do outsourcing missions and things like that. And the way the old seasons were done, through the manhunts, it was we have to go find out certain things. So you had to go clear a checkpoint to do a mission to get the leader, right? Well, they're talking about having it be like weekly things that are going to come out. So they're going to be like information agents that you have to go out, and it unlocks a little piece of the manhunt as you go. So it's not something that you have to wait multiple weeks to get the next edition. So that's super cool as well.
I like that too.
Yeah,
Good
I'm
for
definitely game for it. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I actually like all the new updates that they put out. Just from them putting in that PlayStation 5 update made us play for what, another 100 hours or so.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But I think
they're
that's
doing
one
good,
of the
man.
best looter shooters out there to play. If you
It's
want plenty of.
it's
if you
really
want
good.
Enough content. If you want something to sink your life into, that's one of them to do it.
And because obviously, I mean, you haven't played in a while, but they have legendary mode, right? So obviously, top of the line, hardest difficulty you can do, while they're actually releasing a mastered level now. So it's going to be over legendary, and it's specifically for specialized teams of 4. So that's going to be really interesting.
I don't. Oh my god, bro! Just the constant level cap.
It's crazy, man. I gotta tell you, I'm at 1320 now. It's but I still find fun in it though, and I think that's one thing that they did really well.
Game loop.
Yeah, it's an interactive game loop, which I really can't complain with. It's something that a lot of games could probably look into a little bit, because getting to you and I were talking about it, getting to just level 1000 just isn't. It's not just okay, now what do I do? It's like once you get to level 1000, then everything really starts to like peak out, and then you really start to get into like, how strong can I really get? But yeah, man, it's going to be cool to kind of see the way they go. I did want to add this before we wrap this up. I'm really kind of interested in Stalker 2.
Oh, yeah,
some of the graphics that came out with that look absolutely ridiculous, so I'm totally in for that. And I kind of want to say this, that I hate you. You should have never had mentioned these words over comms. What is it called again? I wrote it down. I wanted to make sure I had it right. Where is this? Oh, Mecha Break. You're a horrible person for bringing that into my life. I cannot wait for that game to come out. My nostalgia meter went all the way up. It's stupid, is what it is.
Bro,
I can't wait. It is definitely going to be that is a day one purchase. I don't care.
Absolutely.
Going to be amazing.
That game looks so fun and so chaotic. Just straight guns and laser.
Just ridiculous. I'm in.
Love all.
I'm in. I saw 10 seconds of it and I was like, yep, that's it. Take my money.
All right. Well, yeah, that wraps up our opinions on Ubisoft Forward. It was the only thing I was actually surprised about was Star Wars Outlaws, like I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to that.
Totally.
Appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an episode. And we will catch you guys next time. See ya.
Stay sexy.